anyway, so I think that was it. There's a funny story. I remember not really wanting to talk about any of this stuff for a very long time, because I remember in college, I definitely remember in college being in a room with a girl. One girl was there was a girl who was in a dorm room. She was Christian and her roommate was Jewish, and so they had decorated the room, half Jewish, half Christian. And we were just having a discussion. I was a philosophy major. We were having a discussion, and I was just asking her these questions and kind of destroying, destroying everything that she would say, and not trying to, just saying, my thoughts. And all of a sudden she started crying, and like uncontrollably crying. And and I was like, what is wrong? And she's like, we were asking these things, and there's no answers to these things, and I don't understand why you just don't believe. And I was like, I think I really tested her faith. And it was just very awkward. Like, I wasn't like trying to test her faith. I was just telling her, I don't know, we were just having a discussion, and like literally sobbing, like the sobs, like with the shaking and everything. And I was like, holy crud. Okay. So that was a turning point where I think from there I didn't want to talk about this with people because of the fact that I was afraid that I was afraid that I would hurt their beliefs and hurt them emotionally, and two, just because nobody had any answers for me particularly, and that's how that goes. And then I remember also having a discussion in college where there was a 5%. 5%er, okay, like a Muslim 5%er, and then there was two Christians there, and then there was this guy who was really smart, like kind of a physics guy, and it was really a great discussion, and then me, and there was all these different religions there, and one science person, and I remember the 5%er was talking. It was really funny, and he was like, yeah, he's like, what you're saying is great, and I was like destroying Christianity at the time, and he's like, what you're saying is right, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I believe in evolution. I was like, yeah, okay. He's like, well, first, I'm like, so yeah, so there was the planet, it was the Earth, and then people evolved. He's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, people didn't. Well, there was the black man. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, first there was the black man, and then there was the Earth. I'm like, where was the black man if there was no Earth? In space. He's like, if you take black people and you put them in space as opposed to white people, they will be able to last longer because they're more acclimated to space. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? It was like he was like, yeah, agreeing with me on evolution. They started off with the black man came first, and then I guess the black man pollinated or seeded planet Earth, and then everyone came from the black man. That was his idea of evolution, which was very interesting. So just to see the different ideas that people have, like the crazy ideas that people have, but this is what's taught, and so I just share that. Some of my stories from the past and where I came to, and now YouTube has helped me out a lot. Some of the videos I've watched a lot when there was a Da Vinci Code, and it's kind of funny because I went to Spain, saw a picture of the Black Madonna. I went to this monastery, and it was supposed to be like the best, it was like the most sacred religious thing ever, and I could care less. I was in Spain. I just wanted to party. I was on a vector trip, and got to there, and then I took a picture of the Black Madonna and the Black Jesus, and it didn't really make any. I didn't really care at the time. It just didn't make any sense to me. Whatever. It was just a picture. Everyone was standing online. It was cool. It had some gold on it. I took a picture of it, and then maybe 2 years later, 3 years later, when I was with my ex-girlfriend, we watched Christianity: The Stolen Religion, and showed how much of Christianity really came from Ethiopia and the churches, and now everything was destroyed, and it's all right there in the scriptures and in the walls. And they explained a lot of stuff. Explained to me, all the things all the questions that I had was explained to me as far as why the 25th is, and what Santa Claus comes from, and where the Easter Bunny comes from, and all these things, and how it's all covered up, and it's all. If you just look, we don't even ask any questions. People just do things, like where the Christmas tree came from, and putting the gifts below the tree so you can bow. It's an everlasting tree. It's a sign of life from pagan religion, and you would bend down and pick up the gifts, and that was your way to bow to the tree. And you're supposed to give the gifts to the tree, but that's how they kept that. That's where the Christmas tree comes from. So, whatever. These were all things that I learned as time went on, and I don't know, just felt like sharing as to where my beliefs have come from or what's shaped me So, yeah, going to sleep now. Talk to you later. Bye.